Guys, what's going on? Welcome into the stream. Happy Saturday. Very excited to be here with you guys for a large, massive college football Saturday. Pumped up. We got a lot going on. So for the next hour, we're going to be placing some bets. Looking at some DFS, looking at a lot of college football money line spreads and totals. We have some top 25 games going on today. I know Alabama has a really big game going on. We have a couple games in the SEC that are massive. And I know we got Ole Miss and Georgia as well, which is going to be kicking off here at 3:30. So that's a little bit later of a start. Tennessee, Alabama. We got USC, Notre Dame. I'm just checking all the scores. Yeah, Utah, BYU. There's a lot happening. The early slate of games, we got LSU and Vanderbilt kicking off here in about an hour. So we're going to want to hit that up. So let's first and foremost, let me pull up the DGF AI slip generator, and we can kind of get started over there. And let me make myself just smaller a little bit. What's going on, Anton? Losing streak. Dodgers fans. As you guys all know, I've been a Dodgers fan for the last 3 weeks. Peep the cap. We're going to the World Series. Back-to-back years. What's up? Everyone else's baseball team stinks. Dodgers are on top. Shohei Ohtani, all jokes, no sarcasm aside, it's awesome to see the Dodgers, obviously they had a great run, and Shohei Ohtani maybe had the greatest individual performance in a baseball game in postseason history. It's up there. I don't know how many can do what he did in one game, affect both sides of the plate, hit 3 home runs, outscore the Brewers, basically Shohei Ohtani 3, the Milwaukee Brewers 1. And then pitches how many shutout innings? We had his over 7.5 strikeouts. I guess I was a bit of an idiot betting his under on his total bases. But at least we got his over on his strikeouts, which was really, really nice. So that was a fun one. All right, so let's see what we got for the DGF's AI slip generator. A lot of 3, 5, and 6 pick entries. I don't know about you guys. On Underdog, I have a $10 gimme pick that I haven't used yet. I also have a 50% profit boost max for any type of entry today. So we're going to cook something up. We might be focusing over here. So let me first show, for those of you that want to play a 6-pick entry, here it is, read 'em and weep. As you guys know, if for the OGs and DGens and just the regulars that come in and show up every day, obviously thank you for your support, but I'm not really playing, if any at all, 6-pick entries. I just don't want to deal with the variance. It's pretty crazy. You're going to see just some crazy variance. I still play a Flex Friday slip on PrizePicks because it's of what's going on there with the promo. Outside of that, though, outside of Flex Fridays, I don't play 5 and 6 pick entries. If you would have watched my streams a month ago or longer than that, I would play these, but I don't anymore. So I don't share these links in the chat with you guys anymore because I'm just not really interested in playing them. I like to play 3-pick entries. Obviously on Better, that's the one platform that 5 picks is the most optimal out of all the options on Better. So I play 5-pick entries with insurance. Outside of that, I'm really just like a 3-pick guy now. Let's see what we got going on. Just need Hurts and Saquon under on 1.5 tutties. There we go. I appreciate that, Quality. That's very kind of you. Very kind of you to say, man. So I very appreciate the kind words. Irish, what's going on? Dude, you're Irish. You're always on the road, brother. You're always on the road, man. But glad you're able to check that Nick Schmaltz play out. Now, it's one way we could use this, guys, is obviously we take the Thursday Night Football FanDuel jackpot boost and we put it on Jonnu Smith and we cash. And then we receive that $60 bonus bet. And yesterday we put it on Nick Schmaltz for anytime goal score. And we take our $60 bonus bet and turn it into $144 cash. So our original $5 wager over at FanDuel yields us a profit of basically $139. Because that's what we ended up cashing on Nick Schmaltz anytime goal score for the Utah Mammoth. So it was a good time. It was definitely a good time. All right, so I can't play this Georgia Tech Duke play. Obviously, if you guys don't know, the NBA starts on Tuesday. So Tuesday and Wednesday, there are going to be a lot of lines popping up right now on the OddsJam tools, showcasing that like, yo, you want to get in on this, right? So what I can do here is I could change this gimme pick. I could make this a 3-pick slip and makes it very simple. So if you guys don't have this over here on Underdog, I'm just on the home page here. I have this gimme pick here. I got a 50% profit boost for today, 3 to 8 picks. So I'm going to make this a 3-pick entry. And then 30% profit boost on soccer only. So let me go ahead and apply this one. And it's going to be on Kevin Durant, which I don't care. That's fine. I could go ahead then and we could double check Bam, right? We could see, I'm really excited about the NBA, but if no one else, so I was looking at some of my bets. We had a nice little profitable day yesterday. If no one else is posting lines for this Heat Magic game yet, then, I don't really want to go after it. So if there's only one other sportsbook that has lines for it, then I'm not interested. So with Bam, the 19.5. So we're being recommended to bet the under on his points. So when we're looking at this play, the main line is 18.5 on FanDuel. Okay, so there's not a ton of books that have lines set out. Now, I think FanDuel's very sharp for NBA player props. It's really just Fanatics, DraftKings, and FanDuel. So I'm just going to kind of take a break. I'm not going to hit this Bam play up. The under 19.5, we're getting this at minus 122 odds. Not bad, right? But I'm just going to probably chill on the NBA plays at the moment. I'm just going to maybe find something else. Now, if we come back over here and look at Sam Darnold on his passing attempts, again, guys, you could do it this way if you want to in terms of spot checking your plays. I'm always going to say, if you want to spot check stuff, please do that. Or if you have a software, it doesn't have to be OddsJam, but if you have a software, you can definitely just spot check and say, all right, well, let's look at the passing attempts. And where's Darnold's line at? And you can see that it's really 28, 29.5. Some books have it at 30.5. You could see Pinnacle and Bookmaker at 164, 159 on the under. We know we're getting this at minus 122 on the under. If we go ahead up here to the top and remove the VIG from the lines, the fair odds are 139, 135 between these two sharp books. We're getting this at 122 on a slip. So I like this Sam Darnold play, under 30.5 passing attempts. So I'm going to go ahead and add this off to the side as a play that I definitely want to take advantage of. Now, the only crappy part today for me, it looks like it already bumped. It already bumped to 29.5. So now I'm out on this play because Pinnacle and Bookmaker think it should be at 30, even though it's a heavy favorite. So that stinks. I'm just too late. Underdog bumps all the time, even this early in the morning. So let me come back down to this. Let me pause for a second. For my Dabble folks, here's a 3-pick entry on Dabble. Where I live in Arizona, I can't play, guys, any college player props. So I am, obviously they're showcasing a 50% boost today for a 3 to 8 pick entry. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is use over at Juice Bets Discord, their Larry model is goated when it comes to esports plays. So I'm going to cook up an esport play right now off to the side while I just kind of showcase to you guys that. So I'm going to make sure I opt into this, my 50% boost. And all right, let's go. What do we got here? Oh, yeah, we got to refresh these plays. My bad. There we are. All right, so we're looking at this dude. And I'll share this slip with you guys. If you have some type of boost, this is how I'm going to use it over here on Underdog. This is a 6-pick rebet entry. This is rebet specific. You can't have, Bovada or BetOnline to make this slip, guys. Again, rebet does set their own spreads, run lines, totals, money line odds on their own. They outsource their player props to a third party called Props Builder, which a lot of global offshore sports books use. MyBookie, BetDSI, Bovada. They use those as well. Just so you guys know, if you do use Bovada, Bovada offers 2 different player prop odds. Bovada outsources Props Builder. You can use Props Builder on Bovada. But Bovada also creates their own player props in-house. So they actually have 2 different player prop odds. Just a little tip for anyone that uses Bovada. Bovada is really easy to beat on their player prop odds that they create in-house. They're really easy to beat. So definitely take a look at them. All right, so we're using this one. Cool. And then we got to go with this one. Okay. So I'm literally just taking the top 3 plays over here on the Larry model. And I'm cooking this slip up. And I got to check my location. And I'm playing it for the max, guys. I'm playing it for $50. This is a 3-pick entry, no insurance. And we're receiving a crazy payout. So I'll drop this in here. Yeah, Irish, no problem, man. Here it is. Yeah, losing streak. So for anyone, for those of you, and I'm not saying everyone is, but if you guys are new or if you guys have just really been waiting for the NBA like all of us and you're super excited for it, just remember, guys, the first week of the season, either go after the high EV edge plays for player props. So this is kind of, I guess I just want to pause for a couple minutes and talk about the NBA. For those of you that are new, you probably don't understand when you utilize the software that the NBA is king. There's so many more markets that you can bet on player prop wise with the NBA. So what happens a lot of times is that you have a disproportionate graph in terms of your pie chart. In terms of money line spreads and totals, it's about this big. And then the rest of the pie chart is all player props. Okay? But as we talked about with liquidity, we've really stressed liquidity over on these streams for the last month or so, how important liquidity is. The more liquidity that a sportsbook is showing on a certain play, the more confidence that they have in those plays. Let's take a look at parlay play. I would not create anything on parlay play. Let's look at DraftKings Pick 6. 3-pick entries on DraftKings Pick 6. So the more liquidity a sportsbook takes on that play, the more confidence that they have. Well, with player props, guys, sportsbooks don't take much liquidity on player props. I mean, think about Kevin Durant. How many different markets can you bet on Kevin Durant for a player prop? Points, rebounds, assists, points and rebounds, rebounds and assists, points, rebounds and assists, blocks, steals, turnovers, right? There's a lot of, and there's plenty that I'm missing right now. There's so many markets for one player that you can bet on. So with the reason I'm going on about this is because you're going to see that the EV tool on OddsJam is going to be littered. There's going to be a billion player prop plays for the NBA. Remember, these sports books take low liquidity. So even though we have an edge on this play, there's not a lot of liquidity there, right? I have more confidence betting on the Rockets' money line than I do on Kevin Durant's rebounds or his points, okay? So just tread softly with your player prop bets because a lot of times what happened, because it's happened to me in seasons past, the NBA comes, I get super excited, I bet like 90 plays, and some of these bets I placed too large of a wager size. I'm overexposed. And then like 3 days in, I'm like, dude, I just got smoked on player props, right? It's a new season. New players with new teams, just either go after the high EV edge plays, 4 or 5% or higher, or even when you go after those plays, maybe just bet like half of what you normally would bet. That's my take on it when the season first starts. A lot of people bite off more than they can chew, and it ends up being a bit of a problem. So just seeing it from years past. On DraftKings Pick 6, it's kind of like your gambling dad, like just having a sit-down conversation with you, before the NBA season starts, just like when your dad sat down and talked to you, if some of you did, before prom night. Like, hey, man, like, listen, there's going to be booze, there's going to be dancing, going to be good-looking girls, just be careful. So just be careful on the first week of the NBA season, guys. Don't fly over your skis and take more than what you want, right? Because these games are going to be here. We're now going to be here for the next, 4 months. We'll be all right. There isn't much on DraftKings Pick 6 that I really want to make a slip on. Again, if there's a boost out there with DraftKings Pick 6, guys, I'm not making a slip just for the sake of trying to force one together. It's not really my style. And normally that's called gambling when you're just forcing a play. If it's not there, I just don't. Sometimes with these boosts, they can be solid. Other times they're not. But hopefully you guys were able to tail that underdog slip because most likely that underdog slip I shared, 1 or 2 of those plays probably already bumped. That's kind of how it goes in the world of esports. Will, my Dabble username, Dabble's not available. I appreciate you asking. Dabble's not available where I live. When I go visit my dad spends like a couple months down in Florida. So like in the wintertime, I'll go down to see him for like a weekend and I'll use Dabble. But that's like, I use Dabble like once a year, and it's when I go visit my dad in Florida. Otherwise, I don't have it available to me here in Arizona. Let's take a look at the arbitrage tool. And I just dropped a video yesterday, guys. It's just a basic, tutorial going over arbitrage and how you can use it. I do showcase the dual button feature over there on the video, which was really cool, where you can smash both bets at both times. So it's pretty simple with pre-match arbitrage, guys. First and foremost, the games haven't started yet. We're on pre-match. Click the filter section right here. I'm on main markets and player props, okay? Just pick the sports books that you have accounts with, or pick the sports books that you are going to log into, right? If this was me sitting down at my computer, and I'm like, all right, for the next hour, I'm going to go smash some arbs. I'm going to pick the sports books here first that I'm going to use. I'm then either going to use my phone or my laptop, and I'm going to log into those sports books. I'm going to log into them right now. So pick your books. I do not set a minimum maximum odds range. And for pre-match, I set this for 10% max. Minimum, I don't. Okay. And this is really for the new people. OGs, DGens have seen me go through this probably like 100 times. But figure out what it's worth to you. 2%, 3%, 7%. What's it worth to you? Okay, leagues. Today, I'd focus probably just on football, right? I got the date range for today. That's it. Right now, you could save this filter down here. You could call it something specific if you want. But I'm just going to show the results, right? So these first couple plays right here are all over 3%. So these are worth it to me. Now, I can't play Fliff because Fliff's not available anymore in Arizona. Same with Profit X. This would be a play right here, though, with this dude for his receptions that I could play on Sportzino or Bovada. So when I open this play up, OddsJam starts a 3-second timer. They start to check the odds to make sure these odds are still legit, right? Now, naturally, if you have Profit X, I'd run this between Sportzino and Profit X, right? Plus odds number is larger than the minus odds number. 125 is bigger than 105. It has the plus sign here, so that's how you know, right? We're making almost a 4.5% return off of our investment. The more money that you invest on this play, the more money that you can make. In this example, Sportzino is the book that is out to lunch. They are way off. So in this example, guys, you want to bet this over first on Sportzino, right? You can almost say this could be a palpable error by Sportzino, but I guess not. Where all the sports books have minus signs except for Sportzino. And this isn't one of those like deep dive where I think Sportzino knows. They got the script. Sportzino don't got shit. They're easy to beat. Just bet the over first. The reason that you want to bet the over first is because Sportzino's, this is the EV side, is the over side. This under here, obviously you can get this at ESPN Bet. You could get this at FanDuel, right? If you're like, Billy, I don't have Bovada, but I could do FanDuel. All right, well then just come over here and just change this from a minus 105 to minus 108. Now this is going to adjust your payout. It's a 3.63% return off your investment. The more money you invest, the more money you could make. So what I like to do is I like to mess around and make sure my bet sizes end in zeros or in fives. So 75, 87, I don't like that because I don't want to bet a middle right here. I'm trying to find nice, easy numbers here. So I just play around with this. This is simple. I do 85 on Sportzino. I'll do $100 over here on FanDuel. That's a nice, easy number, right? Where I'm betting 100 on one sports book and 85 on the other. What you don't want to do is bet $77. Okay, nobody bets $77. Nobody does that. So try to find a play. That's where I just mess around with the calculator and I either go up or down like this, 65, 75, or I would go 185. But I play around with the calculator, so I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to sacrifice 94 cents. And I'm not going to round up to 76 because in my opinion, like nobody bets $76. Just bet 75. And I'm just going to lock this in, right? I'm going to sacrifice 94 cents of profit just to have this. So that's how I do it with arbitrage, guys, right? And just chill out here. Now you can also click the play button and then new plays will pop up. When a new play pops up, then you're good to go. But if you go over on ProfitX, I would run over there now on ProfitX as well because there's only $130. So that's kind of the thing with the exchanges is once this 130 goes away, it's gone. And you're not going to be able to get that price back again. So that's the tough part. But that's the arbitrage tool. Pretty simple. Questions, email me, DM me. Let's move over to the Sharp Money tool. Let's see what we got. All right, what do we got here? What do we got? So right now, guys, we're just looking at plays within a, you can change this. I think I normally have this at like minus 200 to plus 150. If you don't like minus 200s, that's too juicy. Take it to minus 150. Take it to minus 130. If If you don't like plus 200s, take it to plus 150, take it to plus 125, right? 130 would probably be my top, right? You want to make sure between like plus 100 to plus 130. For those of you that are new to sports betting, there's a lot of great value and a lot of great opportunities in that range. I know everyone, like, if you're new to sports betting, you're really nervous and scared about betting plus odds. These are, again, just slightly worse than a flip of a coin. So when we come over to an odds converter calculator, when I mention plus 130 odds American, that means we have a 43.5% chance, okay? So if you're betting something at plus 115, you have a 46.5% chance, okay? So it's not like we're betting plus 850, right, where we got a 10.5% chance. We're in the low mid 40s, which I'm okay with. A lot of these sports books screw up that plus 100 to plus 130 odds range all the time, and you can find great value there. So when we're looking at some collegiate player props, okay, first we're looking at this WVU game. I've talked about this before, but Bookmaker is one of my go-tos when it comes to game day, college football, Power 5 conference. They typically take more money than Pinnacle. So I'm just going to do a quick spot check over here for West Virginia and UCF. And let's see what we got here. So we're looking at what? The over-under 47. And if you guys are new to the sharp money tool, this can be a little confusing sometimes. So yeah, Pinnacle's taking $3,000. Bookmaker's taking $5,600. Okay, so I'd still maybe be interested in this play. So professional sports bettors, guys that have bankrolls that we would only dream of, guys that have $500,000 or $5 million bankrolls, okay? When they're betting college games or they're betting player props, a lot of these recreational books, a Bet Rivers, an MGM, right? They're either going to limit you really quickly or you're only going to be able to maybe wager like $500 max a couple times. Normally, once we hit $250, guys, for some player props, that's it. You can't bet anything more than that. So if I'm a professional sports bettor that has an edge betting collegiate player props, or in this case, college football total points, I can bet whatever I want on ProfitX and NoVig. I can put $1 billion down if I wanted to, right? So the reason that we use this sharp money tool is that the core belief behind this tool is that someone out there has way more money than we do, and they're betting. This is their job. They want to bet a lot of money down, put a lot of money down on the play. So someone has $6,900 that they put that you could bet the over 47 points. And they're offering plus 103 odds, which means they want this under 47 at minus 103. Okay, it's a little confusing. I'll say it once more for the new folks that are here. Someone created a wager and put up almost $7,000, and they are offering $7,000 for you to bet the over 47. That's because that person wants the under 47. They want the opposite. That's why they're offering money for you to bet the other side. They're offering plus 103, which means they're receiving odds of minus 103. And if you take into consideration ProfitX charges a 1% commission, if they win this bet, they're probably getting this bet paid out at minus 104, maybe minus 105. So what OddsJam tool does is say, yo, somebody really wants this under at minus 103. Well, you could go bet this under right now over here at minus 102 on Bet Openly. That's the play that we want. So Bookmaker's taking $5,600. Someone's offering more than that. So I would be interested in this over on Bet Openly. Now, Bet Openly is a peer-to-peer sports book like ProfitX and NoVig. So there's only $139. But again, I'd go after that play. Betting at Walmart today. There we go. You got some great value. No doubt about that. Shout out to Great Value. I've purchased a lot of Great Value products back in my day. So a little different story here. Oklahoma and South Carolina. Pinnacle's taking $30,000. I'm not going to bet this. There's only $4,700 on this play. And even if you add in all this liquidity down here, it's not even going to be close to $30,000. So this is a spot where I trust Pinnacle's line a lot because there isn't enough sharp money liquidity here to be like, ooh, I should take South Carolina. So I would take the West Virginia play. I would take this under 47. I'm not touching this South Carolina play. Now, this South Carolina play, the odds that we are receiving at what? Plus 4.5? Sometimes these plays on this tool, guys, are positive EV. Sometimes they're not, right? UNLV play, I don't care about this. Don't care. I'll stop and I'll tell you a play that I actually care about. All right, I lied. There isn't a play that I care about right now. Not for main markets. Not for today. Just the West Virginia play. Okay? So there's nothing else in the sharp money tool that I think is valuable at the moment. Now, I think when it comes to NBA player prop betting, this tool is going to be my go-to. So if we're looking at collegiate player props, again, a little different story. Jacoby Lane, someone has $1,200 that you could bet. Typically with collegiate player props, guys, it's hard to get anything more than like $250 down on college props. So this is where I would say, over at SportsZeno at minus 115 on this under 52.5, like I want to bet that. Because this guy wants this Lane play at like minus 124, minus 123. So I'm just going to go ahead and log into SportsZeno right now. I think I got like $15 in this account. And I have to get it verified. So I'm kind of just playing with like Monopoly money right now because I got to get verified. So I'm just logging in off here to the side. If you guys don't know who SportsZeno is, it's a Mickey Mouse book. They offer an insane menu. It's a very easy sports book to beat. Arguably maybe top 3. A lot of people don't know about SportsZeno because it looks kind of funky to them. It looks weird. So when you come over here, guys, this is SportsZeno. Just come over to sports. I know it's going to look like it's fake. They got their fake coins, right? Because this is a social, this is a fliff, this is a rebet. Just click the SC. This is their actual cash. So I have $12.60. The reason that this sports book is very easy to beat is because they offer an insane menu. Their menu's way too much. It's too large of a menu. We're looking at what? USC, Notre Dame. Okay. So I can just come over here and just type in Notre Dame. Now, Irish might disagree with me or agree with me on this play. I don't know. He's a big Irish fan. That's why his name's Irish. So you come over here, guys, and then this is where we can just look for player milestones, player things like that. Rush yards, pass yards, player receiving yards, lane, right? I can come down here. I could say, okay, maybe I don't like his line here. Maybe I like it at an over-under, right? Normally, I always forget, though, where to find these over-unders. So I'm just going to pull this off to the side. So this is SportsZeno. The reason that SportsZeno is easy to beat is because they offer an insanely large menu, and they're not a very large sportsbook operation. So their traders can't manage all of these plays. They can't keep an eye on them. So SportsZeno relies on their algorithm to actually, make sure everything's running efficiently. Where FanDuel has a lot of employees, so they can devote certain employees to certain sports, and they're a little bit harder to beat. Here it is. You just got to go to player specials, over under. There we go. And we're looking at Jacoby Lane. Okay. So over here, guys, you just come over here to player specials, receiving yards. We're looking down here, and actually it pops up here in the bottom right-hand corner. So it's down here at the bottom. And then I can throw this. I can do a winnings boost one time. They won't let me do it. That's fine. So what I got, $12? It's a predictions market, right? There we go. I'm in for $12. We'll win $22. We'll get paid out about $10 in profit. That's all the money I have in the account, but we'll throw it in here. I'm in for $12 on Jacoby Lane. Okay, we're slowly growing our SportsZeno balance. There we go. But some of these player props, guys, you can see here on this Ole Miss play, like this is $250 max limit on the rushing yards for Bowens. So, someone's putting up not that much money, to be honest with you. It's about $1,000 total. But again, if you watch a lot of football for Ole Miss or Georgia, and I don't know if Bowens plays for Mississippi or for Georgia, this is where you can maybe find some different spots to bet. So this is where I would do it with player props. Once we get below $1,000, I'm not very interested. Just not. But again, you could use this for NHL player props as well. Let's take a look at the EV tool. Appreciate that, man. And again, Irish, this is where if you're someone like Irish who watches a lot of Notre Dame football, doesn't miss a game, this is where you could say, hey, I don't know if I like that under because I watch my team. I know where my team's strengths and weaknesses are. This might not be a great bet, right? But if you're like me and you don't watch any Notre Dame football, then all you're relying on is the sharp books. So NHL player goals. Tom Wilson scored and Nick Schmaltz scored for us yesterday. So it's a pretty simple thing. We got some plays that we want to go after today. There should be quite a few. Normally, like on a day like yesterday in the NHL where there's only 4 games, the next day is a lot of games. And that's the case today, guys. We have a lot of games, a lot of teams in action. Panthers and the Sabres, puck drops in about 90 minutes. So here's the setup for NHL goal scorers. I shared a graphic on my Twitter yesterday, and I'm kind of bragging here. Not going to lie, but it's kind of that's all Twitter is, by the way. If you guys don't know, all Twitter is just you bragging about yourself. But I shared this graphic last night. October's been an insanely hot start. This is my picket from last night. We got a 55% ROI, so we're running very hot with NHL goal scorers. Right? I haven't bet any soccer goal scorers in October, so it's all NHL. You could see that's why the graph didn't start until this point of the season, because that's what happened. So we've been very hot. If you've been tailing any of my NHL goal scorer plays from OddsJam, you've made money for sure. For sure. All right, so here's the sauce. Here's the secret recipe. Minus 150 plus 250. Use Pinnacle, use additive. That's it. Set it and forget it. Go after anything that's above 3% EV edge. So Brandon Hagel. We want to go after anything that's above plus 227 odds. So again, slightly EV on Caesars. What you're going to notice is I'm able to bet these plays over at FanDuel all day long. So plus 250, we can't get it at 260 because I got limited on Bovada, but this is still a 7% edge. Jackets in the Lightning, Brandon Hagel. I'm in on that. So am I logged in? I'm not logged in yet. So we're going to bet Brandon Hagel. We're going to bet a lot of NHL anytime goal scorers because it's been going really well. Really well. And so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm a big believer, guys, that if you're having success in a certain sport or a certain market or on a certain sports book, then keep doing the same damn thing. Don't change anything. Don't try to bet other markets. Stick with the secret, the sauce that you know that works, and just beat the living wheels off that edge. That's an edge, right? So maybe I'm running pretty hot right now, but I want to go keep betting NHL anytime goal scores. So I can't bet $200 here because I'm not getting at 260. 250, they're telling me to bet 140, 142. So okay. Now I could use the one-click bet feature. Also, guys, though, it's pretty simple on FanDuel. If you're on the NHL, you just scroll to the game and literally you just scroll right here and it's anytime goal scores. So Brandon Hagel plus 250 odds. What's the max wager? $1,000. Nice to see that. We're going to go in for a 140 spot. So I put my money where my mouth is. Brandon Hagel. There it is. Plus 250 odds. It's a long shot play, guys. Remember, we only have fair odds of about a 30.5% chance of hitting this. So there is a chance that this play does lose. There's a very good chance. There's like a 70% chance this bet loses. But we're getting paid out way more than what we should. And what we should be getting paid out. So good play on FanDuel. It's great on Bovada, but I just go play it on FanDuel. And we're going to be playing a few of these on FanDuel. Shane Pinto. Now, while we talk about liquidity, right? While Pinnacle's only taking a small sample size, again, I've mentioned this before in the past, I have very strong historical numbers using Pinnacle as my sharp, betting anytime goal scorers. Not just from the graphic I showed you, but from seasons past, right? This is where bet tracking, historical data, looking at your bets before the season starts, taking a couple of notes, and me writing down to myself, yo, bro, bet anytime goal scorers over on FanDuel. You've been doing really well. What do you think I'm doing right now? It's very simple, right? While sports betting can be complicated, if you know that you're crushing NBA player points or MLB first half run lines or MLB home runs or college football player props, and you know that like, yo, this book is just, I'm crushing this book, then just keep beating that book. Just keep doing it. That's it. So MGM, FanDuel. Anytime that FanDuel has the same odds as MGM, in my opinion, is a joke of a sports book. You can easily beat them. So I want to definitely grab this Pinto play. The Islanders dropped the puck at 3 p.m. Eastern against Ottawa. So we're going with the Pinto parlay. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, shout out to Shane Pinto. Dude likes to play parlays, apparently. And I'm just taking the recommended bet sizes, guys. And this is similar to betting player home runs, right? Where we're not going to hit all of these. Okay, if we hit one or two, if we hit two, we're like looking really good. And if we hit one, we're probably breaking even with the amount of money that I'm betting, right? Just depends. So this is a high EV edge play. Again, we can jump into this and take a look at like the odds movement. But just another rule of thumb, guys, if you see like we think FanDuel's pretty sharp, and I think they're very sharp for NBA. But again, guys, the popularity in the NBA is a lot higher than the NHL. So, in my opinion, if I'm FanDuel and I'm the manager of the sports, I'm the head sports trader there at the desk, and I have X amount of employees today, I'm going to tell X amount of employees to focus on the college football games, and then maybe these guys are going to focus on NHL. But when the NBA comes back, guys, FanDuel is going to be devoting more of their time and resources to the NBA because more people bet the NBA. Not as many people bet the NHL. I love hockey, but it's not as popular as the NBA. So I think you can find some edges over here on FanDuel because they're not like triple, quadruple checking their NHL anytime goal scorer odds. So I think you can beat them. And so far I have. Again, Lafreniere, Rangers, and the Canadiens. Pinnacle, 2 hours ago, dropped off a cliff. Okay? They were at plus 270. They're at plus 195. Now, they're not taking maybe as much money as FanDuel is. But I just have an edge on FanDuel that I really like to bet. We've done this time and time again on the stream in the past 2 weeks, guys. We're taking these bets over here on FanDuel. Take a look at Nick Schmaltz yesterday. It was plus 240 odds. And we might lose all these today. Like, we're due for like a day to cool off. But I ain't stopping. Definitely not stopping. Lafreniere 260. They're telling us to bet 160. Okay. I'll drop this to a 150 spot just to make it a nice even round number. But we're in for $150 at plus 260 odds with Lafreniere. And there it is. Cole Caulfield, pretty much where I'd stop the train, guys, is somewhere down here. Okay, so we're looking at Cole Caulfield. Again, Bovada's at plus 160. We can bet this at plus 150. Cole Caulfield cashed for us 2 days ago. Shout out to him. So we can only get this though at 150. So when I change this to 150, the problem is it's only a 0.5% EV edge. So I'm not going to bet Cole Caulfield. This is legitimately, if you don't have Bovada, then I wouldn't bet this play. Because the edge, we're not getting as good of a menu here, right? We're not getting that much value. But Kevin Fiala, shout out to Kevin Fiala, first game of the season, he cashed for us. This is a good play again. It's 40 cents off the Pinnacle. And this is just a difference between the sports books' opinions here, okay? So I have more confidence in that Lafreniere play because of how Pinnacle moved 2 hours ago. Here, it's just a difference of opinion. So this is the Hurricanes and the Kings. We're looking at Kevin Fiala. And again, if you guys want to run some round robins with this, run a 2x3 round robin, you can do that. Fiala at plus 195 odds. I'm just going to take this down just a little bit and put 75 on Fiala at 195. Okay. But what I love about this, guys, is this is an edge that's working on FanDuel. FanDuel is the friendliest sports book in America. Even if they limit you, you can still bet a couple dollars here and there over there on this book. Like, I'm a little nervous to bet this on Hard Rock because Hard Rock's a really easy book to beat. And I would rather bet something else on Hard Rock than and tip it. This is a good play on Hard Rock, but I would rather just do something else. The last play I'll go after is probably Wyatt Johnston. Sabres and the Blues and the Stars. FanDuel's moved up a little bit, but I'm still okay with this. I'm still all right with the Wyatt Johnston play. Again, maybe $70. Maybe I just put 75 on it just instead. And that's going to really take care of it today for anytime goal scores, where we're just going to grab some long shots. Right? These are all longer shot odds, so not all of them are going to hit. But if we can hit on a few, we're in good shape. I like betting NHL right now, guys. The NHL scoring is definitely up. It's been up through the last couple of years, so I'm in on this. Big fan. Appreciate that, Anton. Patrick, have I made any filters for the NBA yet? Not really, Patrick. Not yet. I've made specific filters in the past, and that's a good question. I would say I don't think I have anything from old. K-Zone, tennis, UFC, spreads. We'll look for this for NBA and college football point spreads right now. Let's look at this. I haven't yet. It's more of, let me get rid of the NHL goal scores. It's more of just looking at book movement, line movement for sure. And I'm going to be paying very close attention to liquidity. But it's a good question, but no, I don't have anything set up. So let's look at this Washington State play. I'm sure as we go along, probably this weekend or maybe probably tomorrow night, I'll be spending a lot of time diving into my NBA markets. I have some notes on them from previous years, but I haven't done my deep dive yet. Again, guys, This is if any of you guys have been using a software or been bet tracking for a while. If you used OddsJam for last season, I would highly implore you guys to come over to your bet tracker. Come to bet tracker, click export bets. Perform a deep dive on your NBA player props, or take that spreadsheet and then upload it into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT a bunch of questions. What's my most profitable NBA markets? That's what I would do. Okay. Make sure when you export your bets, guys, that you remove the blank columns. You got to make sure in that spreadsheet that there isn't any blank columns with no data. Okay. Make sure every column has data, and then just throw it off. Okay. There can't be any gaps in your data when you go to export that to ChatGPT, but that's what I would do. Okay. Make sure to spend the time this weekend. NBA season starts Tuesday. This is your warning. Start looking at those plays. Look at where you succeeded. Look at where you struggled. Helps you create a roadmap. So, as we talked about before, I am using Bookmaker for spreads. I believe, as I'm just pulling up off here to the side, that Bookmaker just takes more money on their spreads than Pinnacle. So Pinnacle's taking $15K on this Virginia-Washington State play. And Washington State right now, Bookmaker's taking $21,000. Okay, so I'll show this to you guys. Again, you could just get an account with Bookmaker. Washington State, plus 16.5. Bookmaker's taking $21,400. So that's a little bit more than Pinnacle. So Pinnacle sees Washington State at plus 100. Again, this is 10 cents off at ESPN Bet. Bookmaker, I like this play. I'm going to bet this Washington State play. I definitely like it. Do we see any movement recently? That's the other thing I want to look at. Little bit here by Bookmaker. Pinnacle's moving down. They were at plus 106. They're now at plus 102. Okay, I'm still okay with this play. Do I have any money in ESPN Bet? Will, appreciate that, Steve. Appreciate that, Steve. Yeah, Deluxe, there's probably not. I'm just catching up to everyone what's in the chat. Probably not much in Hard Rock. I agree with that. Andrew, I would say I don't think the lines are still there anymore on that play. Let me look at what it is. So it was this play right here. So here it is, Andrew. So most likely this esports play bumped. Most likely. I would say after I posted the line, you maybe had 5 minutes to copy it, and then underdog bumps a lot. It bumps a lot. So, yeah, that's the slip. Okay. And then, Will, your question, I would definitely ask your tax professional. Unless anyone in here is a certified public accountant or a tax pro, I would highly advise that you just ask a tax professional. Because I can't speak on that, because I am not a tax professional. But maybe someone in the chat might be able to help provide you some information. All right, Virginia, Washington State. We're looking at Washington State plus 16.5. The main line's plus 17.5. Now, I will say this, guys, in this play, the main line for ESPN Bet 17.5. 16.5 and 17.5 is a big difference. I would much rather have plus 17.5. So because I trust Bookmaker's line a little bit more, again, the beautiful thing with Bookmaker is you can just change these odds. They have it at minus 135, plus 111. And they're taking $27,000 on this line, Bookmaker is, compared to Pinnacle. So if I come over here to a no-vig fair odds calculator, and I say, yo, if I'm looking at this minus 135, plus 111, this is just Bookmaker's alternate line, guys. I'm looking at the plus minus 17.5. So plus minus 21.5. So yeah, we definitely want to bet the Cougars. So why I bring this up is because understanding football spreads is important. The main line here is plus minus 17.5. So I would much rather have plus 17.5 than plus 16.5. So now that we know that the fair value is minus 121, I can come over here to a Kelly calculator and say, okay, cool. Well, what does this all mean, right? Because I'm getting this at, means I have a fair value chance of 54.79. I'm getting minus 110 Quarter Kelly says, yo, you should bet a lot of money on this play. So I'm like, yo, I'd love to bet a lot of money on this play. There it is. We're taking the plus 17.5. Big, big, big play. So ESPN Bet, because ESPN Bet is just mispriced. Hard Rock, ESPN Bet all have this at minus 110. So I'm just going to bet that over there. And I'm going to get the extra point. So 17's key. We get the plus 17.5. That's really big. You could also just bet this on FanDuel as well. And maybe, guys, I should have bet it on FanDuel for a slightly worse price. Still would have been a very EV edge play, right? But I'm in on that. That's how you can kind of figure out like what's what. So let me close. I got too many tabs opened up right now, guys. Not going to lie. Too many. All right, there we go. So we're in on that play. What else do we have? Tulane. Again, another ESPN bet play. Minus 10.5. Okay. So let's double. So I just like to go over to Bookmaker, guys. Again, create an account with Bookmaker. You don't have to deposit anything. You can take a look at their lines. They can tell you what's what. They're playing Army. Minus 10.5 for Tulane. Bookmaker's taking $27,000, where Pinnacle's taking $20K. And Pinnacle just moved. They just moved this minus 10.5 to minus 103. So again, ESPN Bet, I'm going to say, yo, give me this Tulane play all day long. Come on, bro. Can I get this here? Good golly. Again, this is the main line. Unfortunately, it's now even. It's not plus 110 anymore, so this play's gone. Yep, I was a little late to the party. That's okay, though. It's okay. It sucks, but that's just the way it goes. So what you can just do is click these lines in here. So the idea, guys, while I'm using Bookmaker right now is for point spread specifically. They take more money than Pinnacle. So I want to use Bookmaker as my sharp book more than Pinnacle. Okay. ASU, plus 6.5. Not a great number to be on, plus 6.5. But it's a good play to Bookmaker. It's 8 cents off to Pinnacle. If you guys have no VIG for $40, I would take this play. Here's the one thing I can tell you, Will. Here's the scenario that I would tell you, okay? If, for God, I hope no one ever does in their life, but if you ever get audited, if it was me and I was in a situation where like in an hour from now, I got like the tax man coming to my front door and we're going to go through an audit, am I going to look that person in the eye and say, well, the sportsbook didn't send me anything? Or am I going to think to myself, you know what? The onus is on me. I should probably go out there and make sure my butt's covered, and I should go get that form, right? I should go find out what's what. Or do you want to play the game of just saying, well, they didn't send it to me, right? So I understand both sides of it, but if it were me, I don't like playing the game of just looking someone in the eye and saying, well, I never got a form. It was their fault. In my opinion, like I want to make sure my butt's covered. So I would just go get it. That would be my non-professional opinion. That's how I like to play. I don't like to be one-sided too often when it comes to that situation. So I would want to make sure I'm covered and not just blame it on. I'm not looking to play the blame game. I'm looking to go like take care of myself, right? Because it's the tax man. So if the tax man's coming, I'm going to make sure my ducks are in a row. But that's just me. West Virginia, plus 7, plus 108 odds. It definitely creates good discussion, guys. It's definitely important to talk about. 9 cents off to Pinnacle. Remember, for those of you that are new to sports betting, how do I get to 9 cents? Minus 101 to 100, that's a movement of 1. And then from 100 to 108 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. We get to 9 cents. This is 18 cents off the Bookmaker. So WVU plus 7, you guys better run over to Bet Openly because I'm going right now. Plus 7 is a good number to be on. Now, West Virginia might lose by 35. That can happen. But over here on Bet Openly, right? Filter this, college football, bingo, go to spreads. Here it is. I'm going to take all the liquidity on this one. So, and then come up here to the top. Okay? I don't want to see the casino. I want to see the events. And just type in West Virginia. And it's going to pull up right here. And you can see here's the spread. So I'm going to take the remaining of this bet. I'm going to max bet it, $60.50. I get it at plus 110 odds, But to be honest with you guys, when I win this bet, I got to pay a little bit to bet openly, so I really get paid out at plus 108. So I'm in for $60.50. There it is. Double check my bets to make sure that it's there. Bet Openly, guys, is a peer-to-peer sports book. So it's great. It's available in Arizona. I would highly suggest you check it out. Samford minus 3.5. Different story when it comes to Samford and VMI. Okay? These are two really small schools. Really small schools. So there's not going to be a lot of liquidity here. While this is a very good play on Hard Rock, there's probably just not much liquidity. I would probably stay away from this. I like to bet the Power 5 conferences, guys. Sometimes I'll place the bet here, but I like to bet Power 5s. I mean, that's fine, losing streak. Listen, I'm all for it. You know, at the end of the day, guys, it's going to be just what you wholeheartedly believe in, right? I get that. But it just depends on what, you know, if you want to roll the dice or not, or if you really believe that it's not going to be a problem, right? Would really love if someone in this chat would be willing to say, like, yeah, I actually did get audited one time and here's what happened. But yeah. Yeah, so Will, here's the thing, man. To be very honest, Will, anyone that's on YouTube or on a stream that you don't see their actual tax licensing, I would not listen to them. Don't even listen to me, okay? Not all of us are just guessing. We don't have a clue. Please go talk to a professional because that professional can tell you exactly what's going to happen. Anyone that's online that's making a post or making a video or a stream, we're not professionals. So I would not trust anyone online that is trying to give you actual advice, right? Or telling you what's up. I would just go talk to a professional. Aiden, do I use BetMGM? Yes, I do. I use BetMGM. I got limited for like the fifth time earlier on or was it last week, guys? So I can still bet on MGM. We placed a bet live yesterday on MGM that cashed on the under 2.5 first half runs. I'm not anti-MGM. They're an easy book to beat. I just kind of lost I just got limited over there recently. Let's refresh this page. We are specifically looking at spreads right now, guys. For Profit X, Clemson minus 3.5. Yeah, this is okay. I mean, I don't like being on the minus 3.5 side. There's not enough liquidity here that's going to scare me off at Profit X. That's fine. Florida Atlantic. Okay. Stanford plus 17.5. Let's look at Florida Atlantic. 4CX. This is an exchange in Arizona. 20.5 is okay. It's not bad. It's better than 19.5, but interesting. How much money are they taking on FAU right now? Curious to know. Who are they playing? South Florida. South Florida is, oh, dude, I don't know if I want this. South Florida is a damn good football team. They're taking $22,000. So bookmakers taking twice the amount of money that Pinnacle's taking. Also, we can just bet this on FanDuel. So I'm just going to bet this on FanDuel because it's very similar. Very similar in price. It's literally 1 cent off. So FanDuel, I'll bet the 120. It always gets me scared, guys. Always gets me scared. South Florida. Yuck. Yeah, we want this one right here. And we're going to take, it's actually minus 122. Oh, sorry, plus 100. There it is. And we got a profit boost today, guys. Do we? How much can I bet on? Probably $10. Yeah, $10. Okay, we'll put it on a long shot. Let's go South Florida. We're going to go for a 125 spot here. Florida Atlantic plus 20.5. This could be a really bad bet. I'm a little nervous about that one. Now, if you guys want to throw something on your college football profit boost, a couple things you could do here, okay? Because let's focus on that boost. We want to make sure we take advantage of that. We don't want to waste that. Again, free bet tracker at OddsJam, guys. It's a great time. It's a great time. What you can do is come over here to Sportsbooks. You can clear out everything. Just go to FanDuel, okay? And we can expand this. We can take this up to like plus 300. And let's just drop this down to nothing. Let's see what we got here. So we can take the Florida Atlantic play. We can take James Madison. We can take Washington State. We can take all three of these plays and put it in a parlay, okay? And then we can just put our 30% boost on it over here. So I can just come over here, Say, give me James Madison. Minus 2.5. And then we can go ahead and grab Washington State. We could take the 17.5. I like this number a little bit more. We could throw the boost on it, right? And we could throw our $10. And now our $10 could potentially turn into $82 profit, right? So we'll take this and we'll say add to parlay, James Madison. Again, expand the play, guys. Click the add to parlay button. This is a slightly different number. I'll just change this number on my parlay. Come up here to the top, $10. Click the plus sign. And then when you come over to your bet tracker here, guys, on OddsJam, all you have to do is come to bet tracker, click the little dollar plus sign here, right? And we're just going to say, yo, we're getting an odds boost, and we're getting this at 826, okay? And then I can come down here and expand this and just change this Washington State play to 17.5. And there it is. There's the 3-leg parlay. Washington State, Florida Atlantic, James Madison. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, Dr. Slips is saying, yeah, the audit rate is 0.2% for anyone that makes under $500,000. So that's what Alex was talking about. Sure. Appreciate you clarifying there, Dr. Slips. But obviously, guys, you don't need someone. You guys are grown. You're smart enough to know, but, just talk to a professional. Tommy asks, when looking at penny, diving in cents, say at most 2 hours before start of contest, would you have a minimum number of cents that you would start to look at? Yeah, Tommy. So for main lines, right, point spreads, money lines, we're talking the main line play that pops up. We're not talking like alt lines that are like, the main line. If the alt line's at minus 7.5, we're not looking at like the minus 14.5s. But, you're in that plus minus 110 range for the books. All the books have, so when I'm talking main lines, guys, just so I can clarify this. This Washington State play, this over under 55.5, this is the main line, right? We're looking for 8 cents of a difference. That's the minimum. I don't like to go 6 cents difference or 7 cents. 8 cents or higher, meaning that we want Pinnacle's line to be at like minus 102. Right, for the over 55.5, or if we were betting the under 55.5, then we're looking for Pinnacle's line to be at minus 102. So when we're looking at plays on the EV tool, and we can use Florida Atlantic, right? Bookmaker takes a lot more money down on their point spreads than Pinnacle does. So we're getting this at minus 105, or we're getting this at minus 115. That's what Bookmaker thinks. This is 15 cents of a difference between here and FanDuel. So that's why we really like this play. Right, it's more than 8 cents. Pinnacle's only 3 cents. I'm trusting that Bookmaker is taking more money. They're taking twice the amount of money on this play. They're taking over $20,000 compared to Pinnacle. So I don't think Pinnacle is super confident in this line. I feel that Pinnacle is more confident in their line. So that's why I'm going there. If we take these odds and just go back down to like a plus 150 odds range. That's a good question to ask. And we're looking for what? 2. And we select all sports books. We come back over here. So Eastern Michigan, right? Plus 11.5. Pinnacle's taking 10K. Let's see what they're taking. But here, this is 9 cents off from Pinnacle, right? Minus 104 to plus 100 is 4. Plus 100 to plus 105 is 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. I like that. Bookmaker's odds just changed. This is still 20 cents off the Bookmaker. So I'm okay with that. If I'm looking at this Eastern Michigan, Miami of Ohio play, we're looking at the plus 11.5. Pinnacle's taking $10,000. And Bookmaker's taking $22,600. Again, just so you guys know, I'm not pulling these numbers out of my ass. Right here, Eastern Michigan plus 11.5. Bookmaker's taking $22,600. They're taking twice the amount of money that Pinnacle is. This is why I use Bookmaker as my sharp game day Saturdays for college football. So I have more faith in this play, right? So we could bet this at plus 100 over at FanDuel, guys. We can do that, right? It's only going to be about a 2% edge. Or I could bet this over at Hard Rock. Now, this game starts soon. This game starts like now, right now. So if I wanted to bet this, it's already locked because I'm too late to the party. I might be able to bet this, though, over at FanDuel because we're here. I don't know. Again, guys, if you're like late to the party, it's actually not that big of a deal. I might be able to go over to Hard Rock right now and just live bet this and get the same thing. It's not a big deal. Did Hard Rock change? They might have removed their odds. That's okay. We'll just come back over here and do this on Eastern Michigan. All right, let's look at the alternate spreads. Eastern Michigan plus 11.5. It's right there. Odds Jam's telling me that I should only wager about $108, so we'll just go 110. There we go. Lower edge, but still a solid play. I'm in on that, right? Games are about to start, and there it is. So we're going to add this to the bet tracker and just throw this in on FanDuel. So, again, guys, when it comes to like college football, I bet FanDuel quite a bit. Bet a lot of hockey over there, right? So we could set this up now, guys, for live betting, right? Stonehill and Yale, no offense to anyone that went there. Not really looking to place this. I'm looking to bet Power 5 conferences. So if you watch a lot of Stonehill or Yale football, maybe you got an edge here. Otherwise, not so much. And then Duke minus 3.5. This looks to be a really good play. I don't like the number at minus 3.5. That's a really key number. But can we get this spread? We can go in for a 150 spot. All right, Duke minus 3.5 at plus 105, minus 150. There it is. Okay. And that's it, guys. We got some bets in at the very last minute, at least very last minute. So there we are. But that's kind of college football. Now we can go look at, again, you guys can do this with total points with college football. You can take a look at like what's Pinnacle taking, what's Bookmaker taking, and even bet online. And you can say, okay, well, then we're going to do this and we're going to do that. Yeah, no doubt about that, Dr. Slips. I agree 1,000%. Definitely peace of mind. Totally understand that. And I also understand for people that want to do this the right way and are getting started, they obviously want to make sure they're making sound decisions. All right, for any of the DFS guys, we're just showcasing some different underdog slips. And then a 3-pick entry on Dabble and a 3-pick entry on underdog. So from that 6-pick slip above, this is the top 3 picks. Obviously, the NBA preseason has concluded, so we are getting ready for the regular season. I talked about this Bam Adebayo play earlier, guys. There's only really FanDuel, DraftKings, and Fanatics dropping odds for player props, so I'm not really interested in betting NBA player props right now. But by tomorrow, guys, by Monday, a lot of books are going to have their projections out, and then we'll deep dive. Couple things. Starting Tuesday, I will be going back to 2 streams every day, Monday through Friday. Tomorrow we're streaming at 11 a.m. Eastern. A lot of NFL player props. Monday we'll have 1 stream, and then Tuesday through Friday will be 2 streams a day at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern. So 2 different streams. Really, the 6 p.m. Eastern guys will be focusing a lot of NBA player prop betting right before tip-off. That's what we're going to focus on the evening streams. The earlier morning streams are going to be money line spreads totals for NBA, college football, NFL. Also in the evening streams, it'll be NHL goal scorers. But that's going to be happening. I dropped a video on the channel yesterday. Take a look at it. It's an arbitrage betting video. Peep it. If it sucks, tell me it sucks. Tell me why. If it's good, tell me why. And then also we mentioned before, guys, starting Wednesday, October 29th, I'm opening up a group class where if you guys want to sign up and learn about some sharp sports betting, it's not free, but it is a once every 2 weeks on a Wednesday class for 1 hour, 6 classes in total. It lasts just over 3 months. So once every 2 weeks, we're going to be going through, and you can ask me questions. Tell me about your situation, what you're looking for, EV betting, live betting, whatever you're looking to dive into. We can really get into setting up a successful plan for you in terms of profitable sports betting. That's really what we're all about. And so if you guys want to check that out, here is the link to sign up if you want to check it out. It's going to be right here, right? So These are these plays here. What else do we got? 6-pick entry on PrizePicks. Okay. You guys can peep this one out if you want. It's a 6-pick. I'll just pause for a minute. We got everything on the screen there yet. You guys can check it out. So tomorrow we'll be on at 11 a.m. Eastern doing it again. But otherwise, guys, really hope that you enjoy the weekend. You have a lot of fun. You have a good Saturday. I'm not really watching much football. I'm not really watching any football today. Doing a lot of relationship stuff today. Going to a fall festive pumpkin thing tonight, which will be fun. And what else do we got here? We got a 6-pick on rebet. Okay. But then tomorrow we'll kind of get ready to lock it in a lot more. So I'm getting my bets in now as the rest of my day is kind of already spoken for, doing the, relationship festive stuff. And then, so I'm just going to get my stuff in now, and then that'll be it. No problem, Tommy. Appreciate it. You guys asked some really good questions, really good conversations today in the chat. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. But if nothing else, guys, enjoy your Saturday, and I'll get at you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. Take care.